On the last exciting episode of Like, Love, Destroy, we did some stuff with some Saiyans. We don't know what that is, though, because we are recording this out of order. This is how YouTube works! Stay tuned for the next exciting episode of Like, Love, and Destroy!
And yet, somehow, Bulma still lost the Dragon Ball.
I don't know how either. Welcome, guys, to Like, Love, Destroy, the discussion where we take a topic. Well, I guess I'll just go to the next slide and I'll read it off. But, Like, Love, Destroy will be a discussion of characters, fandoms, and universes and other areas of interest we find in our day-to-day life. Our choices are made from our own experiences and reflect only our opinions. Please feel free to let us know your opinions in the comment section down below. Serafina and I, and others who were invited, will decide on a particular fandom, group, etc. and make our own decisions about these characters without telling each other. We will then reveal our choices to each other, and you in the video react to them, giving our reasons for liking, loving, and destroying that particular character. So
you might want to pause the video at this point in order to read the screen, because I don't know if you can understand that.
I was waiting for you to say sold.
I'd buy that for $1. In other terms, we're gonna pick random fandoms or things that we enjoy in our life, and give a reason for liking something in that, loving something in that, and destroying what we don't like or love in that. So, on the last episode we did Saiyans, like I just mentioned, we are recording this a little out of order right now because people's availability and everything, so, but the last episode you saw should have been about Saiyans. I wish we could kind of talk about that, but we can't, so we're just going to go ahead and go to the next topic. This week we will be liking, loving, and destroying Transformers!
Yeah!
Part 1. Our
Robots
first
in
part
the
1, guys.
Oh, yeah.
This time it'll be Autobots. Transformers! They are Autobots. Shut up.
Yeah.
It's like saying the Dinobots are their own thing. No, they're a subgroup of
Or
Autobots.
Optimus Prime
Technically,
is
they're
not
the
Optimus
descendants
Primal.
of the Autobots. Technically.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to get into it, but this week we're going to be talking about Transformers Part 1 is going to be Autobots. Next week, we will be discussing Decepticons.
Yes.
So look forward to the deception. But for right now, it's time to transform and rule out.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone, for being a part of that.
Pretty good here. He's got that, like...
Only the leader says that. They don't all
Yeah,
say it.
I guess. Am I the leader then?
That would be
Apparently.
like all of us saying Avengers Assemble. It's like
Exactly.
only one person says it.
Alright, guys. Well, this is my like. If you notice, I have a little thumbs up here in the corner.
Ooh.
My like for Transformers... By the way, before we get into it, I will go ahead and introduce everyone we have here today. This is me, your boy, Caleb, a.k.a. LordMoch.
This is your boy. It's me, your boy.
Yeah, I'm your boy. My lovely wife, the one, the only, the amazing Serafina is here. We got a reoccurring guest coming back for this special episode. We call him many names, actually. Pendry, Pendragon, Pendo, the Majin Pendi, whatever you want to call him.
You went with the nice names this time. That's
Yeah, the nice names. He is the Pendragon. How are you doing today, bud?
doing pretty good. Pretty good.
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Doing good. That's good. Pretty good. That's good. Pretty good.
Yeah. And I'm all about Transformers, so I'm excited.
A first-time guest appearing on our show. He is the one, the only, Dusty One. How are you?
My first time. I did the wrestling one too.
Oh wait, yeah, okay, so 2 reoccurring guests.
But he is like a Highlander. There can be only one.
There can only be one.
There could be only one.
Now, to get into my like, love, destroy, because we do have 4 people here, so we don't need to spend too much time on mine.
Right.
Because mine's not important.
That's true.
I'm kidding.
That's so very true, but...
too.
But my like is
really?
Omega Supreme. Omega Supreme was always just so freaking dope. In the cartoon, as a toy, come on. Okay, before they introduced the city Transformers, he is the largest Transformer to come out of any Decepticon or Autobot.
Isn't that until they're the planets, too?
Well, not counting
actually, the planets, Primus and
weren't
Unicron came out
around
in the
at
film. That was the bridge between season 2 and season 3 of the original G1, G2
So before-
cartoon in the 1980s.
We're getting off track now.
Before Metroplex, before
Fortress Maximus, Trypticon.
Trypticon, all those cities, before Unicron
Max.
and Primus, the largest Transformer that was in the whole entire series was Omega Supreme.
He was a big deal.
Yeah, he was
Well,
a
him
big,
and
big deal.
Devastator were the two biggest.
He's still
Devastator
bigger.
was huge.
He's still bigger.
Yeah, but not by much. They were pretty close in size if you look at the scale in the show.
This is the G1 version with the toy. Look at that toy, though. So much fun in one toy, right? You can, like, go on the tracks. You can shoot off with your... The toys in the 80s were so awesome, in the 90s.
Yeah,
A lot
but
of
if you gotta
them
admit
were.
that the Transformers, a lot of them looked really awesome in one mode, and then not so great in the other mode.
Yeah.
But they did transform. But you were a kid, you didn't care.
And I also really liked the animated version of
that's cool.
Omega
I
Supreme.
haven't seen that one.
Oh, yeah, he's really cool.
He turns into a ship.
Yeah, he turns into
A spaceship.
the ship
Yeah.
that takes them to Earth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And, in G1, there was just
Yeah,
another ship.
right.
But he turns into the actual ship that...
Yeah, G1 they had the Ark, and
That was what it's called,
Transformers
I should remember.
Animated they had
Him.
Omega
Well,
Supreme.
they still called it the Ark, though, even in animated.
only like once or twice.
I have
though.
no
Hey,
idea.
that
That
still
still means
means
they
they
called it
called it that.
These-
Now, I mean, I don't know if you guys had any like responses to my like. I mean,
No,
Omega
I
Supreme's
get
dope.
that.
There's
He's
no
cool.
there's no reason to not like him, right?
Yeah, the only
I
thing
didn't
with
watch
him,
the shows, so I don't really know him.
The only thing
I
with
have no
Omega
comment.
Supreme in the original cartoon that kind of got weird with me was the fact that his primary episode, the Secret of Omega Supreme, really screwed up a lot of preset lore for Transformers at the time by giving a separate origin story
For
to
Devastator.
a previously
Established character,
previously
Devastator.
established character.
Because of that
was all
episode-
that was weird about it.
Because of that episode, Devastator already had a pre-established.
Heavy Metal Wars, where we
But
looked at
when that episode came out, they kind of like ignored it and gave Devastator a brand new
I got it.
backstory. So,
Rewrite.
yeah, they screwed up so much in that cartoon.
now
it was
my
ridiculous.
love.
Aw.
Anyone want to guess what my love is?
Megatron.
No, I
We're
guess.
doing
is Autobots.
Autobots.
Wow.
It's still Megatron. I mean, come on, it's you. It's Megatron. It has to be. No,
My
Prime.
no, it's actually not Optimus Prime.
Really?
It's Rodimus Prime.
My love is Ultra Magnus. I
He was so
love
lame
me.
in the original.
Oh, look at your hammer!
I know.
That's
isn't it?
the animated version.
That-
of
yeah,
it
this is
right
the
here,
anime.
the
Christina,
newer
you would
one.
really like this one.
Why? Because he
Trans-
has a hammer?
Well, no, you would just like Transformers animated.
Oh, okay.
Hey, come on. He
Um,
hosted Unsolved Mysteries. He's awesome.
Yeah, the guy who. I wasn't
What?
really.
Is it the same guy?
Robert Stack.
I love
yeah.
it.
I
Was
wasn't
that really
really.
the guy that was? Oh, I did not know that actually.
I was a really big fan of Ultra Magnus. Like, he wasn't in G1. He was not the supreme leader of the Autobots. That was still Optimus Prime. But throughout the next few series that comes out, Ultra Magnus actually takes on that supreme leadership role, while Prime is a follower. And
Actually, that didn't really occur until Transformers Animated.
No, there was a
Beast
couple-
Wars, Beast Machines, the original Robots in Disguise, the Supreme Leader of the Autobots was all Optimus Prime in each one of those series.
there was a couple series before animated that he was a supreme leader.
The only other one,
But
I can't think of another.
He
one
was
that
one
came
of
out before
the
animated.
toys I had as a kid, so I totally.
he
get
is a
that.
great character. He's just like Optimus Prime, except cooler, in
You
my
can
opinion.
carry cars on him.
Well,
and
I
everything.
didn't
It's
like
cool.
his G1 version, but
Oh,
his
I love his
animated
G1
was
version.
great.
I love
loved
his
animated
I love his
one.
G1 version. Ultra Magnus is a really great character.
Yeah.
I love him in the shows. I love him in the comics. And a big thing, actually, in a couple of the series after G1, it may have been one or two, maybe even been 3 series, Ultra Magnus and Optimus Prime were actually foes. They fought for the right to take the Matrix of
Transformers,
Leadership.
Robots in Disguise.
They
were
fought for that
brothers.
right, and Vector Prime decided that instead of Ultra Magnus, it would fall to Optimus Prime, and Ultra Magnus actually comes later on to actually fight Optimus Prime for the right to be
You're
take the
mixing
Matrix of
up
Leadership.
Two separate series.
No,
here.
I read this last night. It's either in a comic or a series, but I read this
That
last
would have
night.
had to have occurred in the comic because in the cartoons, the only time when that occurred between Magnus and Prime was in
Gosh darn it.
the original Robots in Disguise cartoon that came out either right before Beast Wars or shortly after Beast Wars Beast Machines, where they were brothers, and Magnus was pissed that he was not chosen ultimately to house the Matrix and be the leader, and came to Earth, and there was a lot of conflict between the two of them. In the Unicron trilogies on TV, that he wasn't even in them. He
Okay.
wasn't there at all.
I will say, from a personal
Regardless, this
standpoint-
is a like, love, destroy, and these are mine. So you can talk when it's yours.
I will say, from a personal standpoint, I love how the newer one has the Ronin the Accuser's hammer. That's pretty sweet.
But-
I'm a big fan of hammers.
Well, it's always hammer time for you, so.
But they actually did fight whatever series it was in, or whatever comic, because it doesn't matter. There are lots of times where Ultra Magnus and Prime are set against each other. And then there are lots of times where Ultra Magnus is the supreme leader, while Optimus Prime is the follower.
Cool.
Regardless, though, Ultra Magnus is a cool character. I really like him. He's a stout defender of Autobots, a stout leader who... I just like those characters that will not be swayed, that will not be broken down, and no matter what gets in front of them, they will always go look to their ideals and their morals.
Kind of like a paladin.
Yeah. And, I mean, Optimus Prime is the same thing, but at the same time, I kind of wanted to give some love to characters that may not get love. Optimus Prime might as well be a honorable mention for my love, because a lot of you guys may not know this, but in a lot of fandoms and series, I actually more times appreciate villains. But Optimus Prime is a huge difference for me, because he's one of the only main heroes in a story that I actually feel gravitate towards, that I love and appreciate. He never gets boring for me.
Aww.
So, and now for my destroy. It was spoiled earlier. I apologize about that. My destroy is none
hater.
other than the horrible piece of crap Hot Rod / Rodimus Prime.
Oh my
It
God.
is all
Get
his
over it,
fault
Caleb.
that Optimus Prime died.
I'm telling you, you said that was going to happen.
Dude,
I'm telling you to get over it.
I could say this unequivocally. Rodimus never got a fair shot from fans in the 80s.
I love how he looked.
Fucking
He
didn't.
can look however he wants. He is the reason that Optimus Prime died in the movie. Plain and simple. Plain and simple.
He was trying to
He was trying to do the right thing.
trying to do what he thought was right. He made a mistake. It happened.
Yeah,
I'm
completely
sorry.
agree with
I
that.
do. I will not forgive him.
Caleb,
I will not forgive him.
Hey, and that's good. It's your personal reasoning. I get it. I understand it.
He did win some points back for me later on, but at the same time, I cannot get over for him being the reason that my favorite character died.
Okay.
So,
That's solid reasoning. I can't argue with that.
but that is my like, love, destroy. We're gonna go ahead and go to Zim's real quick.
Yeah.
I tried to make it a little fancy. I don't think I did as well as I hoped, but
I hope you put it in the like and then love and then
I
destroy.
did love, like, destroy, honorable, but
Oh, okay.
Okay,
So
so
my love is the Maximal Dinobot, and he is perhaps the single most noble, honorable character I've seen in anything Transformers. In Beast Wars, he starts off as a member of the Predacon team. They crash land on ancient Earth. He realizes that Megatron's plans were just nuts beyond belief, so he defects, ends up joining the Maximals, and then later on selflessly sacrifices himself to save not just the Maximals, but the entire prehistoric planet of Earth that they were on in that series. You don't get better than that. You just don't.
I don't like Beast Wars and Beast Machines.
I don't dislike them, but to me, I'm a G1 guy.
G1, right where it's at. That's where it's at.
I'm G1 with
I
the rest of you,
didn't
but
watch them either.
I thought Beast Wars and Beast Machines, for being, I believe, the first follow-up Transformers cartoons in like a decade since the death of G1, G2 series, was a great way of doing it. I mean, the animation,
It was
the
entertaining for the time.
storylines, the characters.
I can't get over that they went from
development.
transforming into vehicles and things like that to transforming into animals. I don't like
was
it.
a great
Well, they were
look. It was a
robotic
new
animals.
look, and it
But,
was
I don't-
well
but
done.
they're trying to they adapt to where they go.
But
Yeah.
it
At that
doesn't
time,
make sense to
There weren't
me.
any cars, or
But it does,
machines.
I
any
would
of
have
that.
preferred I would have preferred something else for a story. It's just my opinion. I don't like the animal aspect. If I want an animal aspect, Power Rangers, something
Well,
like
you
that.
do realize G1 had animal aspect. They had the Predacons that formed Predaking. They had the Seacons. They had the Horicons.
But
had
they weren't. But they
Abominus.
transformed into vehicles.
No. The bots I've mentioned all transformed into animals. Skylinks.
Dun, 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 dun.
There were a bunch in G1 that were animal transformers. Even cassette bots.
Skylink, yes. Some, but most of them still transformed into vehicles, except for some, like Skylinks, the Insecticons, and everything.
Horicons.
But at the same time,
They were still kind of like robotic-y animals, though. They weren't animals.
I don't like it. It's just my opinion. You know, everyone's gonna have their own.
Right.
But another thing, you say that G1 had all that stuff, but what was the main focus?
The war
Robots.
between the Autobots and Decepticons.
Well, no. What I'm saying is when you talk about what they transform into, actual machines, not So this is supposed to be your Superior.
Superior. You could agree with me or disagree with me, but in my mind, the two greatest episodes in the original 1980 series were the Key to Vector Sigma Part 1 and Part 2. And that is where Superion and the Stunticons are introduced as opposing sub-factions for the Autobots and the Decepticons. The Decepticons had the Stunticons to try to take control of the roads, and Superion was introduced as an air force, essentially, for the Autobot team, and as a counter to the Stunticons. And I love what happened with them. I love how they were created. I love the personalities. Like, the leader of Superion, the Aerial Bots leader, has a fear of heights, and he's a freaking plane. It was great. It was so much fun. I love these guys so much.
I'm not a big fan of combiners, not gonna lie. My favorite type of Autobot or Decepticon or Transformer in general is a cassette bot. Like
so Soundwave,
Soundwave, Blaster, those. I'm not a big combiner fan. Combiners are cool, but they're just not.
I will say I did like them a little bit just because it did give the Autobots some
aerial.
support, since
But they had
Decepticons
what's his
were
name
so
before
heavy,
that?
though.
We were just talking about him. Skylinks.
Yeah.
No,
but-
Skylinks was introduced. Well, he was introduced about the same time. But before
Skylinks
that,
was
they
introduced
had
before
Skyfire.
Yeah.
He was the big
It was still
aerial
a
guy.
big. It was still a
in-
big disparity.
There was still a big
1 and 2.
disadvantage on the
So it kinda
Autobots' part
equalized
for
it,
aerial
which was
superiority.
Well,
so.
and you think about it like this, there was also another disadvantage. Because the Decepticons, by the time of the introduction of Superion, had like 5 different Gesalt bots, or combiner bots. They had like 4 or 5 of them. They had Reflector. They had Bruticus.
Reflector's not really.
He's a combiner. He's
Yeah.
4 to 3 bots.
Yeah, but he makes one human-sized bot.
No, he makes one camera.
Well, but
That
when
is what he was. He was a freaking camera.
Yeah, but they're all child size when they're human, when they're in their robot
Adult
form.
size, but yes. But the point is, they had 4 or 5 different combiners
I would
on the
not
side
count.
of the Decepticons.
I would not count
to
that
only
one.
one combiner on the side of the Autobots, and you didn't even really see him ever, and that was Defensor. Defensor wasn't even really seen until Season 3.
Yeah.
This was the first combiner on the side of the Autobots that was seen on a regular basis all the time. Once his introduction
Autobots had the
came in.
Dinobots. What the Decepticons have? They didn't have no Dinobots.
No, they had Devastator. That was their counter. And it wasn't a good one.
Constructicons. Right?
So your destroys them for some reason is Beachcomber. Why do you want to destroy Beachcomber?
Okay.
He just wanted to dune buggy in the beach,
the
man.
picture where he's like Snow White with all the
Okay.
the fluffy animals.
Here is why I
There is
wanna
that
destroy
episode
him.
where he's like,
Little car though. That's so
Here's why I say destroy Beachcomber from G1. If you think about the primary concept of the G1 series, it was a 4 million plus year old war between two factions of sentient robots that transformed. That was the entire thing. Beachcomber was the fucking hippie of the show. He was the guy that was like, no, I don't ever want to fight. I refuse to fight. But he would charge into battle anyway. He makes no sense. He was never needed
But
in
a guy
the show.
that hates heights that flies on a plane,
It's
he
funny.
makes sense.
It's funny, but this is not funny.
No, I think this is just my
It's
opinion,
just
but
not-
Beachcomber is the reluctant soldier. He doesn't want to fight, but he respects and admires his peers enough and knows that if he doesn't fight, that maybe something will happen. He can't bear that responsibility.
Sorry.
No. Here's where the
Sorry.
difference between Beachcomber and the other guy on the Autobot
You just
side
sound-
that is like Beachcomber comes in. There was another bot on the Autobot side. I can't remember what his name is off the top of my head, but he becomes the head
I
of
sure
Fortress.
remember everything else about him.
He becomes the head of Fortress Maximus. He stood by his principle of nonviolence. Period. He did not fight at all. He never went into battle. Period. That was his principle, and he stood by it. Beachcomber was like, I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight. Next moment, boom, 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 right in the heart of it.
Well, when the fight comes to you, you have one of two options: sit there and die, or fight.
I'm sorry.
And by the way, when you just said Fortress Maximus.
Yeah, he becomes the headmaster
The
part
headmaster.
of Fortress Maximus, which was introduced in the final 3 episodes.
That
of
means the
series.
Autobots had the Autobots had kicked the Decepticons off by then, and the planet was peaceful at that moment. At this time, when Beachcomber's there, it's active warfare.
It
But
was
Christina,
still active warfare in seasons 3 and
What?
4.
All I'm saying is, you sound really old, and you're like, he's the hippie. I was just like,
He was the
I will say from the
Calm
toys
down,
from the
old
toy
man.
standpoint, I
Jesus.
really did like the idea they did at this time where they had you can see the blank and you had to touch the sticker to use the heat from your thumb and it would tell you if it's a good guy or a bad guy.
that is cool. That is cool.
alignment. So I thought that was kind of a neat idea.
And your honorable mention, come
Black
on,
Arachnia.
Black
I
Arachnia
love-
is a Decepticon.
No.
More times,
No, she is a Predacon that was
she shows up in
twisted
Transformers
by
Prime.
Predacon in Beast Wars. She was
Keyword here, con.
She was a maximal soldier
Still a
that
Decepticon.
was in stasis that was twisted by Predacon technology to becoming a Predacon against her will before she was woken up and given her alternate mode. And that's one of the reasons why I love her so much is because she fought back against that, eventually joins the Maximals, not just to save herself, not just to become a Maximal again, but because of her love for Silverbolt and to save all of time.
All I'm gonna say here is, in Transformers Animated, she is a Decepticon. In
She started
Transformers
off as
Prime,
an Autobot.
in Transformers Prime, she's a Decepticon. In the Transformers series that's right after Prime, she's a Decepticon. So you should, just because in one series she was a Maximal,
2 series she would start off as a good guy. Animated and Beast Wars.
but she later became what? A Decepticon. She's a
Through
Decepticon.
Extenuating circumstances. She was not technically a bad guy of her own will in animated.
I'm still
or-
saying she's a
Beast Wars.
Decepticon.
And
a-
in Beast Machine, she was just a straight out Maximal. So I mean, there's that too.
More times out of 10, she's a Decepticon, not a Max. Not
Usually
a
not
Autobot.
by her own choice. So
Either
that's
way,
the
I
point
still
I'm
think
making.
she was kind of a cool character, and I liked the way
She was an amazing character. She had an amazing character development and backstory, and the best love story in Transformers history. Her and Silverbolt is a love story that will transcend time in Transformers.
wow, that's some pretty strong stuff there.
It was a great story. I
Yeah.
loved it.
So,
Go
all
ahead.
right then. So I didn't grow. I didn't grow up watching Autobots, Transformers. I didn't. I watched like a few episodes, and I've seen a lot more of the old cartoon than I've ever wanted to see because of Caleb.
Yeah.
Good job, Caleb.
Yeah, but my inspirations for this are more the movies because that's what I know the most about.
The Bayformer films?
You guys can suck it up. Yep, these are the four.
So, do I go to the like now?
Yeah. I'm just kidding.
Special mention!
I think all of mine have special mentions today. Ironhide!
I almost did Ironhide for
I really like Ironhide. He's loyal. He's really tough.
All you did was make me remember that he dies
I know.
at the time, one of my favorite characters. But then Michael Bay ruined him for me.
Sentinel Prime.
Oh, God.
Sentinel Prime. But I was actually really sad when he died.
I know, tragic.
Like, I mean, it's weird to be connected to, like, robot machines, but I actually felt it
They
when
have
he
a
died.
spark,
I
Christina.
know.
Gosh, that's their soul.
So, special
And their
mention
heart.
to Ironhide. He's cool. You guys are going to think my picks are so lame. It's okay. Keep
I
going.
loved Ironhide. I don't blame you for that choice.
Well, no,
I
I
am
think-
behind
I'm just saying, I probably picked, like, the most cliche
The
thing.
poster
But
boy.
he's one of the best versions of Prime in anything I've seen Transformers.
Well, it doesn't matter the type. I like Optimus Prime just because he's always a badass. And he's always going for, like, other people. Like, he's always for others versus himself. Plus, his designs are always cool. Like, every time he shows up, he's got all the new shit. Like,
Okay, his Bayformer designs were
He gets-
definitely visually stimulating and awesome.
he gets all
Not
of
as
the new
cartoon
He gets
designs.
all of the cool attachments. I mean, he's got it going on the whole time. Plus, I like the blue and the red. Like, his whole thing is great.
Throwback to his
I really
original
like
G1.
Optimus Prime.
Which
All right, I'm gonna try it real quick. My name is Optimus Prime, and I send this message to the stars. We are here.
Right.
You are not alone.
He gets a little preachy sometimes.
I love it though. I just love it.
that was, I will admit, an actual really good impression of the voice actor for Prime.
It wasn't that good.
in
Peter
G1
Cullen.
and the Bayformer film.
Either way, visually, I think Optimus Prime is probably one of the more interesting ones. All
So-
right, go ahead.
I knew it.
You! I love you so
Oh,
much.
come on!
It's awesome.
Everyone's like, "Oh, it's Bumblebee! It's Bumblebee!
Yeah.
It's Bumblebee!"
I have always liked Bumblebee, but then I watched the new Transformers movie that just came out.
Bumblebee.
With the girl, Charlie, and all that, and it sold me. I love Bumblebee. Bumblebee is great. Plus, I've always liked Volkswagen Beetles. So, like, he's just
Which
perfect.
style, though? The older ones or the new ones?
Doesn't matter. He's
By the way, guys, I
perfect.
want to
He's
tell you
always
something about my
perfect.
wife real quick. So, my wife has two dream cars. This is the spectrum for her dream cars, okay? Volkswagen Beetle and freaking Humvee.
I want a Hummer.
Come on! How is that a realistic spectrum at all?
How amazing are Hummers, though? If they got better gas mileage, I mean...
They're awesome.
They're so
H2s
cool.
are awesome.
How did I know you were going to pick Bumblebee?
I know. I picked, like, probably the most
knew it.
classic
You picked the
people.
most cliche
I know.
people of all time.
But I love Bumblebee, and he was so cute in the movie, and I was like,
Oh.
You gotta admit,
I
though,
love
pretty much all my choices were spread out. Like, as much as I admire your choices, I gotta admit, yeah, they are really
But
obvious cliche
I only
choices.
have the movies to go by, because I
All
don't
right.
really...
Watch the TV
I don't want
series.
to. Go
Let's
ahead.
get to your destroy real quick. You better not be destroying somebody I like.
No. I picked the...
Oh.
Skins and Mudfly, come
Oh
on!
God!
No.
Thank you, thank
No.
you, thank
Yes,
you.
exactly.
I hate those
Yes.
two so
Awesome.
much.
Those twins were so annoying. Every
Oh.
time they were on the
There was
screen.
only one bot in Bayformers that I hate more than these two idiots. And that was the fucking Devastator from the second or third movie. That was just,
Second.
oh,
Just
I
saying.
hated him so
It
much.
doesn't matter. I found
I
them
thought he had
annoying.
balls.
Ha ha ha. Wow. Wow. That was
These
bad.
two idiots had gold teeth. I mean,
I
are you
know!
freaking kidding me?
They were
They
terrible.
were
were pretty dumb.
like rappers or
Yeah, I know, like-
punks or
Between them
gangbangers
and
or
that
some
kid,
shit.
that kid that came from Sam's school that was just crying the whole way, like,
You're like-
They
They
were
were
pretty
so
dumb.
annoying.
They were pretty
It
dumb.
was just like, just stop. Whatever you guys were thinking with these, they were bad. Just,
Yeah.
Just leave it
They were
alone.
pretty dumb.
like,
Yeah.
Oh,
All
they
right,
were
so now
horrible.
we're going to get into Pendry slides. A couple great pictures right there, by the way, bud.
Autobots.
Autobots.
I have like a bunch of backgrounds for the Autobots.
So I should say.
So animated
No,
Bumblebee.
these aren't them. These are just the like
Oh.
page. So
Oh,
I
okay.
was like, these are
Nope.
your, like, why do you get
I
two?
like Jetfire.
Ah,
Awesome.
Jetfire!
Original or one of the more updated
That's
versions?
actually a cool
I
picture.
like the
of
original
Jetfire.
one more than the newer one. The newer one's not bad, but
His backstory was really good. Like,
yeah.
it was a really good character development, even though you only saw him a little bit.
Jetfire is really cool.
The fact he is like from a Macross jet from Macross anime.
No, that's a cool character. I like that choice.
And there's another page.
And
with
he
it.
was
So,
huge.
something more. Yeah, he was a good
Oh,
size.
that one's. I like that one.
Yeah.
That dude was humongous.
Hey, he was
stood
literally
twice
pretty
as
much-
tall as any other bot.
He was pretty much the delivery system for Autobots for a long time in G1.
Yeah, he was.
I just loved him as a toy. He looked really cool, and I
Now,
think he's
Jetfire is cool.
So,
Good choice.
I
Here's my
can get
life.
behind Jetfire.
Okay, so you're. Oh, come on! RC it! Oh, come on!
Thank you, Pedri.
Shuriken?
Sure King, I love him.
He's a
Here, go
Japanese
one
one from the.
Dinobots together equal Sure King.
Really?
Yep.
I didn't know
That
that.
is
One more.
actually not a combiner form I know of for the Dinobots. The one I
Oh,
know
nice
of is
choice.
Monstor or
So yeah,
Volcanus.
he is a big
Wow.
bad man, and I think he's awesome looking.
Does he get smarter the more Dinobots you throw together?
No.
I doubt it.
No, that's really cool.
But I really like
I've
him.
never
I
heard
thought he
of this
looks
one.
really cool.
I'm
and
glad you picked that because that's something I had did not know.
Yeah, I've never heard of this guy. Like, that's a really cool pick. It's visually stimulating. I love the Dinobots.
Right, exactly.
Like, they've always been my favorite.
and it's like I didn't
subgroup.
want to just go with Grimlock or whatever, and I was like, wait a minute.
Swoop was the
So-
best of the Dinobots. I'm sorry. Swoop was amazing.
I hated all the Dinobots.
I don't feel bad for picking them.
Well, you hate Hot Rod, so what do you know? Anyway,
I know, right? I know.
Get
right?
out of here!
I know,
Get
right?
out!
Oh.
No, you're more than welcome to stay, my friend.
Oh.
so my destroy is Slash.
Oh,
They
one of the
made
newers.
another newer Dinobot for some weird reason.
He's in Earth Wars as part
he
of
a-
the
It's a girl.
Volcanus team.
It's a girl.
Is it a Velociraptor?
Yes, and there's
Yeah,
one more
he's
picture.
part of the team
And
of
I just-
Dinobots that make
She-
Volcanus.
It's a she.
She, whatever.
But why? I think it looks silly.
I like.
I actually
it.
kinda
that
like the
image
look,
looks
so-
really cool. The
Oh,
other one
my.
looked horrible.
I don't know. I guess
I don't know.
I like.
I
I just felt it was unnecessary and just So
I don't blame you.
that was my
Oops, go back to mine real quick. Well, guys, thank you so much for, oops. Wrong one there. Well, guys, thank you so much for stopping in for this episode of Like, Love, Destroy, Part 1 Autobots. Stay tuned next week as we do Part 2, which will be Decepticons.
better team. Excuse me.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay.
Yes.
It is the better
I
team.
agree, bro.
It is the better team. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure you like that like button. And if you're new, why don't you love us and join our little brotherhood here? And if you don't want to be a part of us, then transform and roll yourselves out. No, I'm kidding. We even if you don't want to join, even if you don't want to subscribe to the Brotherhood, I thank you so much for enjoying this video with us. I hope you'll come back and check out the Decepticon episode. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Later.